Huh. You can see ports and protocols. Posted date.
Okay, for me, the view is different. Where I need to search in the
Uh,
Google Classroom or else in the Ashok IT website.
Full classroom only. Okay, share your screen.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's
Please.
showing disabled.
Screen sharing. Uh,
Yeah.
Please enable the screen sharing too. On. Let's see. Is it only to you or other people too? Is everyone not able to see those notes, the documents in the Google Classroom? Oh, oh. Okay, so Bhatti Reddy, Chandrakala, Surya, you guys can able to see that?
Yes, I was
Yes,
able
sir,
to see
we can.
Okay,
I
okay.
can see that.
Uh-uh. I think Pawan, it is an issue to you only. I think maybe just do
Okay.
one thing instead of that. Ask them once. Okay, I think Tharuni is the media like a counselor, right? You can ask him. Sorry,
Yeah.
ask him.
Okay. Yeah, I will,
Yeah, maybe you'll get it, buddy. I'll tell them.
yeah, sure.
Okay. So, so guys, have you gone through this one? Sports and protocols. Even if no, also fine. You don't need to worry. So, so the sports and protocols are used kind of a rules or maybe set of rules or endpoints. We can simply say. Okay, a protocol is a set of rules that defines how data is transmitted and received between the devices over a network. Okay, we'll see some physical ports and then few logical too. See, mostly even any device also have some ports. Like when it comes to your mobile, whether it is a C port or maybe a lightning cable port or something. Okay, and when it comes to your computer or laptop, like LAN cable ports or something there. Okay, these known as a physical ports. When it comes to the data, there are some logical ports also there. Okay, I've already shown you that. Let me. There are 65,000 ports are there. Let me, instead of that. Just a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, protocols. Okay. There are 65,000 ports are there. Okay. But each and every port we are not going to use. There are different ports and protocols are there. So the total number is 0 to, sorry, 65,535. This is the actual number of ports we are having. Okay. So in these ports from 0, 1023 is known as a noun ports or also well-known ports. And from 1024, okay, 23 is done, right? From 1024 to 49151. These are known as a registered ports. Okay. these are registered after 49,152 to 65,535, right? These are dynamic ports. Okay, these are dynamic ports. So it's nothing but protocol is going to define how data needs to be transferred. Okay, let's say example, SMTP port is there. Okay, or else you can consider SMTP protocol is there. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, SMTP. I'll write it here. Okay, it is nothing but a simple mail transfer protocol. It is used for sending the email. Okay, it is used for sending an email. Again, we are going to use POP3. Okay, maybe IMAP or something is also there. These are used for receiving the email. Okay, the service is only one, like the Gmail or email or whatever it is. The service is only one service only, but for sending, if you want to send me the email, it uses SMTP. And again, if I want to receive that email which is sent by you, that needs a POP3 or IMAP something. So some kind of services need different kind of ports, or maybe two or more ports too, or one or more ports too sometimes. Okay, so here protocol is how this email needs to be traveled throughout the network. It defines that. Okay, the protocol is going to defines how this data needs to be transferred or maybe transmitted. Okay, or else how it is going to be encrypted or how it needs to be divided into individual parts. I told you in the OSI layer or whether it is a TCP layer, the data from the application layer to application layer. That means from my mail dashboard to your mail dashboard, how it is going to be transmitted. Okay, there are a few layers over there in the OSI, whether it is a TCP. From the application layer, it goes to the presentation, then it is going to convert it into system readable, then encryption happened and the data transmission happened. Okay, those encryptions, data transmissions rules are created, okay, for each and every individual service, whether it is a email, it is SMTP or something, whether it is a connectivity, remote server connectivity. Okay, if you want to connect to a remote server which is having Linux operating system, that uses SSH port. Okay, SSH port means a secured shell port. And there is a, if that is based out of Windows, they use, or that specific system use RDP, remote desktop port. So it is nothing but, I can give you an example. Port I will go with the one by one. So we use IP address for a logical connectivity, right? So without IP addresses, the data cannot be transferred to one device to another device. You can consider you need to go to somewhere or you need to send something to some person. How it needs to be reached. Okay, IP address, maybe you can consider it as a apartment name. You can consider it as a specific apartment you need to send a data. And inside the apartment, there is only there are maybe 100 flats are there, maybe 50 flats inside the apartment, but you need to send that specific package to a specific flat. So port is nothing but that flat only, or you may consider the flat number at least. Okay, and when it comes to the protocol, okay, when it comes to the protocol, the delivery guy is going to tell them, hey, you got an specific, okay, you got a specific package or maybe something, you need to sign it here or something like that. Okay, or else you directly want to go to there, you have to go there, you want to meet a specific person, you have to find out the apartment, that means IP address, then you have to find out the specific flat number inside that apartment, and then you have to go to that flat, inside the flat, and you have to talk with them. You can simply say the communication, or maybe the language, you can say. Okay. So the port is nothing but an end point. Okay, port is nothing but an end point, like where I need to send exactly. Okay, actually IP address is also kind of end point, but it represents a physical device. Okay, it your laptop, let's consider your laptop is there. Okay, if someone wants to send to email, it is going to find out your laptop's IP, and then it is going to find out the exact port which is related to that email ID, or sorry, that email service inside your laptop. Once it got find that, then it is going to send it. But these like how it needs to be sent is written by the protocols only. But who are going to controlling these ports and the protocols? Again, it is also created and maintained by the IANA, International Authority of Names and Numbers only. Okay, but when it comes to these 0 to well-known ports, okay, these 0 to well-known ports, mostly it is open ports. I'm sorry, not open ports. Mostly these are known ports like SSH, SMTP, POP, IMAP. Like it is a open to the world actually. Okay, the generic data transmission happening with the help of free resources, or maybe a regular resource patterns, it is used. Let's assume TCP, UDP. Okay, usually if we want to send a data, we need a TCP. Okay, that is let me give you. It is going to be this is your server, or maybe your laptop. This is my laptop. Okay, so first you send some request. Hey, are you available to receive my data which I am going to send? I sent yes, I can able to receive. Okay, I sent an acknowledgement. Again, okay, you are saying okay, I'm sending the data now, then receive it. This is a reverse acknowledgement. So three times the connectivity is established. Okay, three times it is established, and it is called three-way handshake. Okay, this is a three-way handshake. So TCP is a reliable connection. Most of the applications or data is transmitted through TCP. But when it comes to UDP, it doesn't need any, or it doesn't need to check the receiver sent. Simply it will send the data. Okay, that's why it doesn't need any specifications. But when it comes to the TCP or RDP also, it is also comes under ports and protocols. So these are major things. So these TCP, UDP, SMTP, POP, SSH, some kind of main ports, well-known ports are comes under 0 to 1023. So for each and every uh, port, there is a port number is defined. Okay, for SMTP that is 25. Okay, for SMTP that is 25. I think POP3 have 143 or something there. And when it comes to the SSH, that is a 22. Okay, and when it comes to RDP, that is 3389 or something is there. I forgot. Okay, so these are default port numbers. Okay, these are default port numbers. Let's assume, okay, let's assume you are working in a company. In that company, the people, infrastructure people, or the developers, or maybe who are related to taking care of the net infrastructure and the connectivity things and everything, they are going to define which port is required. Again, which ports needs to be in an open state and which ports needs to be in a closed state. Those kind of things will take care. And when it comes to the registered ports, it is nothing but there are some other third party services, tools, or maybe applications there. Let's take an example. Database is a third party thing, there are different databases there, like SQL database, Oracle database, different databases there, right? So for each and every database, let's take it as an example. SQL have a specific port number that is in between 1024 to 49,000. Okay, it is registered. Okay, it is registered port number. Okay, even though if you want to create a new application which needs to be used by each and every person in the globe, you need to be assigned a specific port number. You need to register it under the IANA, like Internet Authority. You have to pick a specific port number. Simply you have to purchase this remains. Okay, so the registered port numbers should comes under 1024 to 49,151. And when it comes to 49,152, after this 151, after registering ports, these are used for dynamic ports. Okay, let's assume while you are surfing the internet, while you are doing anything, some kind of activities, those new applications or some kind of temporary things, some kind of port number should be needed. At that point of time, your computer or your device use these dynamic ports. Like the same, if you are using the cellular data in your mobile, the ISP, internet service provider, will give you a temporary or a dynamic IP address, right? Once you close or once you put it in a airplane mode, or maybe switch off the mobile, or maybe switch off the mobile data, okay, it will gone. Again, if you switch on mobile data, it will give another dynamic IP address. The same way, until unless it is a session based port, things also will be happen. So some point of time, if you use anything or if you browse anything, if you download anything in the internet or maybe something, at that point of time, these dynamic ports will apply. Okay, you can also verify it. Just go to the terminal. Okay, go to the terminal of your computer. Do ipconfig hyphen all. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me show you that. It is. Maybe it is. No. Just land. It should be mostly 49,000 should be looks like that, but it's not showcasing. To IP config only. Uh-uh. Let me try some other commands. Let's add. It's that is not there. sometimes what it is, these ipconfigs is mostly work on Windows. If you are using a Mac or any other Linux, use if config instead of p, use if config, like if config, maybe you'll get some data. Not saying that. Yeah, sorry.
I think netstat an or something is there command. Sorry.
Actually, I'm much related to Linux, right? I'm not getting this netstat hyphen nano.
An. A-N-O.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Usually those commands are related to Linux mostly, but this is a Windows, like a PowerShell, right? This terminal is okay. Yeah, thanks for that. So you can see active connections. Okay, there are active connections is there. You can able to see TCP connections. You can see 60,838. This is a port number only. We already know there are 65,535 port numbers are available. So from 49,000 something, 49,151 something, from there to 65,000, there are dynamic ports. And you can observe one thing here. Either it is a 000 or 127.0.0.1. Okay. While explaining the IP addresses, I missed this part. But I'm asking you, guys, anyone have any idea about this 127.0.0.1?
Yeah, it's
Any
a
idea?
sort of like a loop back IP.
Yeah, it's a loopback address. Okay, or else we can consider it as a local host. Okay, it's a considered as a local host. Let's assume if you are installed some service inside your laptop. Okay, you want to check that is that service is working fine or not with the help of IP addresses. But the thing is, your laptop don't have an IP address, like don't have a public IP address until unless you are connected to the Wi-Fi or something. But there is no internet connectivity. So you are going to check it. Okay, you are going to check it whether it is in the internet or without internet. Maybe you have to check it with a 127.0.0.1. This is a default IP address which is called localhost. Okay, this is a default IP address. If anything wants to check, okay, it's a kind of a testing purposes only we use. It's not a um, it is not going to be assigned to as a static or something. It's a fixed number, like a 127.0.0.1 is a local host IP address. It is representing each and every device. If anyone, whether it is a server or laptop or a computer or a mobile also, if anyone wants to check anything, like any kind of services inside running with the help of IP address, you can use this 127.0.0.1. Okay, it represents your device only. At that point of time while you're checking, 127.0.0.1 represents the local host. It represents your device only. It is for our testing purposes we use. Okay, that's why it is showing 127 something. And you can see TCP connectivities are there. Okay, TCP connectivities are there. And you can see state is in a listening and some are in established. Okay, some are timeout, something is there. Okay, these are very deep dive, and you can see this. It is a 53. Can anyone tell me what is port 53? Just do the browse also.
DNS.
DNS. Perfect. So my device is going to contacting, or maybe through web surfing or something. At that point of time, the DNS is going to verify it. Okay, the port DNS port or the protocol is going to verify, or it is going to create a connection establishment between the devices. Even though while you're browsing the internet, like simply going to the Chrome browser also, it needs the DNS. Okay, so it is showing timeout or something, and you can see it is a 443. Okay, 443. You can observe one thing. Here. This is your local address. This is foreign address. That means from your address to the receiver address, or maybe the sender address, you are created a contact. Okay, so from my laptop to some other laptop, you can see both are looks like a private addresses only. That means this is also beyond some network, some Wi-Fi or something. And when it comes to here, you can see it is a 443. This is a server IP address. Okay, this is a public IP address. All the other are private IP addresses we can able to see, because my laptop is behind my Wi-Fi. That's why it is showcasing my temporary, like what it is, a private IP address only. Okay, but when it comes to here, you can see 443 represents HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, with a secured layer. Okay, it is connected to some server. Connection established. Okay, you can able to verify this, but don't worry, we are going to focus on Linux based things. So we are going to deep dig about that also, these ports and protocols, how to find ports and protocols and everything. So we know for each and every connectivity between the devices, okay, with the help of service to service, okay, we use these ports and protocols. Okay, even though while you are doing browsing, or while you are going to your Chrome browser and you have to open Facebook or something there, okay, inside your laptop or something, at that point of time few things will happen. The first thing is going to happen, like a DNS resolution will happen. Okay, DNS resolution, that means once you click that Facebook or something, or whether it is any application, it is going to verify that what is behind the facebook.com. That means what is the exact IP address behind that. The DNS resolution will happen. Until unless the DNS resolution happened, we cannot create a establishment between the Facebook and you. Okay, it is happened in a both ways also, from your end and from their end also. Okay, even the Facebook wants to send some data to you also, it is again going to verify the DNS resolution. It is going to verify that what is the IP address. Maybe it first to find out the your Wi-Fi IP, and then once it reaches the your Wi-Fi router, the NAT, like a network address transition, is going to detect it, and it is going to verify it who needs to get this. It shows your data in the NAT tables. It is going to redirect it to you. So DNS is also kind of a port. DNS have some rules, set of rules and something that is considered as a protocol. So DNS have a default number that is 53. But majorly we have seen HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, HTTP or HTTPS, it represents 80, it represents 443. Okay, these are the default port numbers of these. Okay, when it comes to HTTPS or when it comes to FTP or FTPS, SFTP maybe. Okay, FTP or SFTP. The differences between these are nothing but adding the encryption layers only. Okay, S, if you can see S, that means a security. That means adding an encryption. That is nothing but the data transmitting between one device to other device is only be in a system readable format. We can't able to understand if a hacker wants to intercept that data. If it is an SMTP format, you are sending a file to your friend or a colleague. If I am going to intercept it also, I cannot able to understand that. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, it looks like this kind of thing. How can I understand that? I cannot understand. That's why the encryption is happened. Okay, but the thing is, why we are discussing about the sports this much? Okay, I told you every service needs an individual port, whether it is a registered ports or well-known ports or maybe sometimes dynamic ports also. But the thing is, if the ports are in open state, okay, the ports are in a open state. I'm sorry. If the connectivity needs to be happen, whether it is a HTTP or a HTTPS, the connection is to be established to everyone. That means you have a website buddy. The website need to be showcased to each and every person. That means the port should be in an open state only. Again, if it is an open state, it should be a vulnerable thing. Okay, it should be a vulnerable thing because open ports have some vulnerabilities, or maybe you can consider open ports are nothing but open doors. Okay, it's like a open doors, it's not a holes or something. Okay, it's a kind of open doors who have a knowledge to get the details about the ports and what running behind the port. Okay, while we are going to scan the applications, maybe it will show like these numbers. Instead of, it's not going to show you SMTP POP3 SS, it's like that. It will show you the numbers only. It is showing 53. Previously we have seen in my terminal, right? Is it showing the details or it is showing the numbers only? Numbers only, like a 53, 443. So you have to understand what's running behind this. Okay, maybe you have some knowledge. You'll know if 22 is representing SSH and 3389 is RTP, 25 is SMTP. When it comes to showcase 80 is a unsecured web. Okay, HTTP is a unsecured. HTTP is a secured line. Okay, if it is a HTTP, the website running in HTTP, anyone can able to intercept the data and read it. They can verify it what's running or transmitting between. But when it comes to add S, like the security layer, the people cannot understand it is in an encrypted way until unless the data is received by the receiver, then only it is decrypted. Okay, that is the actual terminology running behind this encryption. So we cannot see these things, but we have to know what is running behind the applications. We are going to scan whether the DNS name like flipkart.com. So it is going to scan the DNS resolution. It is going to happen the DNS resolution, and under the DNS resolution, it is find out the IP address. Again, the IP address under the IP address. IP address is nothing but my laptop is also having IP address. Let's assume my laptop is a server. It is having a public IP. It is going to scan what is running inside my laptop because it is a server. It is having a public IP. On top of public IP, I have a DNS name which is Flipkart. Okay, so I don't want to showcase my public IP address because it is also vulnerable thing. That's why I've added a flipkart.com. It is help me in a two ways. One, it is going to mask my IP, and again, no one needs to remember my IP. Simply, if anyone type Flipkart, it is redirecting to my server only. So at this point of time, two kind of things will happen. One, we are going to directly run the scan on flipkart.com, and also we have to find out the IP address behind the DNS name. Like what is IP, like one or two or how many IP addresses are running behind the flipkart.com. We have to find out that. Again, we are going to run the scan on those IP addresses. Okay, it's nothing but we are going to, if we run DNS, okay, if we run scan on DNS name like flipkart.com.in or whatever it is going to do two kind of things. It is going to first find out it, and again it is going to do the scan. It is going to do the mild scan only. That means on surface level only it will verify. But once you find out the IP address, if you run the same scan, it is going to showcase what are the ports and protocols are running behind it. Okay, again in a surface level it's just to show the numbers only. Okay, it is running 443, 80, 25, 22, 3389. All these port numbers are existed inside that application server. That means all these services are using that server. So what we do with this, we are going to find out the companies is going to trick you sometimes. Okay, instead of 80 they use 8080. Okay, or 80 8,000 maybe. Okay, that is going to trick the hacker. That means we don't know what is running on 8,000. Okay, or else it is going to showcase some other number which is not related to these actual services. So the biggest challenge is, scanning is easy, we can get it. The biggest challenge is what is running behind exactly these port numbers is the challenge. The companies will trick you. The developers or the security guys or maybe the infrastructure engineers will modify. They are going to use the custom port numbers instead of the default port numbers. They don't use these default port numbers. Okay, because if a hacker wants to steal the data, they are going to find out it. So they are going to modify it. So what we do, if we couldn't find out what is running behind this port, we cannot hack that, or we cannot gather much information. Okay, we already gone through this CIA and reconnaissance, right? When it comes to the reconnaissance, it is start with this, okay, scanning like ports, protocols, DNS resolutions, and IP addresses only. Our reconnaissance is going to, like the active reconnaissance, is starts with this ports and protocol detection only. So until unless we couldn't find the actual services running behind, or the actual protocols are running behind the port numbers, then only we'll get to know, okay, they are using SMTP, or maybe they are using HTTP or HTTPS or FTP or SFTP. Based on that, we are going to do the attack, or maybe we are going to run some kind of individual things on those ports and all to find out what kind of ports are vulnerable. Even if it is an open or closed state, what we can do, we have to decide there. Okay, in upcoming classes we are going to showcase, we are going to explore those things. Okay, but the thing is, these ports are, I'm telling you the bullet points, these ports are used for the connectivity, like sending and receiving data between the services of internal devices. Okay, if my laptop wants to send a email, I have to log in, switch on my laptop, I have to switch on my internet, I have to open browser, or maybe the Gmail ID is already the Gmail is already located as an icon in my laptop also. I'm just going to click that, log into that, and then send something. At the same time, I want to send or upload my resume in Naukri also, I do that. But all the things, uploading a document is like a transferring a file, or maybe uploading a file which comes under FTP or SFTP. Okay, the same way you are going to connect to a remote server. As an employee, you are going to connect to a remote server. That means you need a 22 like a SSH, or maybe it is a Windows operating system, you need a 3389 like RDP. So whatever you are going to use, everything is going to be run by the ports and protocols. But when it comes to a cyber security perspective, we have to find out what kind of ports first of all, and then what's exactly running the port, and then we are going to do over a time. It is going to happen in different phases. Okay, let's assume we find out something which is some kind of service. Okay, some kind of service or maybe a tool used by your organization or the organization which is you are going to be secure or which is you are going to be do the uh, security pen test. So at that point of time, if the tool is or the service is having a specific version, let's assume uh, in previous classes I told you like what is the application, like sorry, which application is using React.js, okay, as a behind like in a um, building and application purposes, like in a back way what they are using, like if they are using or if the application is built on React.js, you have to first verify what sorry, which um I'm not getting it, but just a second. If you are going to find out, okay, it is built on React.js, you have to find out the version first. Okay, you have to find out the version first. On top of which version the React.js they use it to build that specific application. If you find out it is a 19, then it should be a trouble because they are using a deprecated version. That deprecated version having multiple vulnerabilities. There are major vulnerabilities in that React.js version something because the application is also built on that version, but still that version is having vulnerability things. We have to first find out is that fixed or not. If it's not fixed, you have to showcase it. This is the biggest issue because there is a rat over there. Rat is nothing but remote access. Okay, remote access vulnerability inside this React.js version 19 or something there. So you have to find out that, you have to execute that. That is nothing but you can able to access that entire application anywhere in the world with a super admin access or something. So you can able to add or delete, maybe shut down the servers also. So you have to do some level of pen tests and you have to gather enough information like screenshot and something like details and everything. Then you have to create a report and showcase it to your CISO, the chief security officer. So the thing is we are going to start the reconnaissance. Okay, we are going to find out the details. Starts the active reconnaissance starts with the ports and protocols only. From there only we are going to, it is going to consider it as a maybe a network pen test. Okay, you can consider it as a network pen test. Okay, so we have to understand the networking. That's why because we have to do the pen test on the network only. First we find out the networking level issues, vulnerabilities, and we completed the network pen test on the specific application. Then we go to the web level. Okay, we go to the web level. Then we are going to find out the what are the actual issues in the like a web browser level application things and all. And then we go to the API level. Okay, we'll go to the API level. So once we do all these three things, then it should be 99% secure only, not 100%, 99% secure only. So after all these things, we are going to create a report and showcase it to the CISO. So you guys must need to know the ports and protocols, and you have to at least, I'm not saying you have to remember for 65,000 ports, but at least a few ports like a 40 or 50 while watching it. Okay, if you see, you can simply assume this is SMTP. If you see 22, it is SSH. If you see 21, this is FTP, file transfer protocol. Okay, you just understand those concepts and all. Okay. Yeah, any doubts? Have you got the actual concepts of the sports and protocols?
I'm okay, Sai, but I have one small doubt. You said
Yeah.
sometimes developers or company people or chief persons, whoever they are using the developing the port numbers, using that when they are manipulating some not exact port numbers, they are using some different port numbers, like you said, HTTP using 80 or
Yes.
alternative
Yes.
8000 like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Then how the security persons know that to test the pen test or anything to
That
doing?
is only we have to find out. See, actually, we have to act like a good hacker, simply a good person while you're doing hack. But still, our work is we just going to replicate as a bad hacker only. Okay, what is our exact concern is we have to find out the vulnerability before it got find out by a actual hacker or a bad hacker. Okay, that is the actual purpose we are here. Okay, if you couldn't find out, it is going to be find out by some other person, a third person, like the hacker. What will happen? They'll try to use that. They're going to ask the ransom. They're going to take and control the application, right? So our perspective is just we have to secure the application. Okay, we are the first frontline warriors to secure it first. Okay, before it is going to happen. Okay, it is the before it is going to happen. We have to find out in how many ways a hacker can able to attack this application. Is there any vulnerable points there? Okay, that is the actual thing we have to do. If there is nothing, because maybe like you, like me, like Daniel, or like Nishit, already there. The security pen testers is already there. They are continuously pen tested it. They have almost they secured the application because they showcased much more vulnerabilities from last 2 to 3 years. Still, you have to find out until unless you have to got at least one or two. Okay, you have to go through the actual steps given by the company, and also you have to showcase your skill set over there. You have to find out the vulnerabilities there, and you have to at least check is the vulnerabilities like the previous pen test happened, right? Maybe it is in a quarterly or half yearly. Is all those are fulfilled or not? At least you have to check. Okay, the one and only point is you have to find out the issues, the weak points of the application, and make it strong. That is the one and only thing. And you were asked me like maybe the guys are going to modify the port numbers like a customized port numbers. See, the technology, terminology, protocols, everything is same. They just showcase the number instead of the default port number. They showcase some other numbers. But when a third person is going to scan the company's network or any other organization network or any other organization servers or databases, maybe they'll get numbers only. So at the primary level, at the first level, they just get the numbers only. With the help of numbers only, they have to identify what is running inside the application. Let's assume if they got 53, so DNS is there, HTTPS security transfer protocol is there, and some other numbers are something there. So based on the numbers only, the hacker needs to be understand. But the actual hacker have to find out, like actual hacker won't think like us mostly, because they don't use traditional tools, they don't follow the traditional values and all. They simply going to find out the actual vulnerabilities. So in that way only we have to find out those things. That's why even if it is a tricky, the numbers behind the port numbers behind the protocols or the application is also not known or not default, but still we have to act like a that bad guy. We have to find out it and we have to showcase it to the company. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And you use it for the Windows PowerShell, like I think someone is told like
Yeah.
underscores ano. Ano, that means since anonymous or like Japanese meaning what? How they
I
are
don't know.
used that?
No. Just a second. Netstat-nano you're saying, right?
Mm. Yeah, Netstat Nano.
Mhm. Yeah.
I also tried. It showed to me, but I want to know about how it is comes. What is the meaning of the nano to know?
Usually, Netstat stands for the like technical things inside, like physical things inside running. Okay, this Ano is like it's a showcasing the, or it is scanning the ports and protocols running inside active connections. Connections is nothing but each and every connection need a IP and a port or protocol. Okay, it is showing like this. You can see connections. Okay, it is showcasing the protocol is used TCP. Our IP address is represented like this. Okay, even though you can see 135 is again a port or a port number. Okay, I'll show you here. Let me, yeah. So TCP protocol, they are used. My laptop is used, and this is my private IP address, and this is the port at that point of time. I'm going to connect it to a specific server. So we are just scanning the connections. Connections is nothing but the data transmission between the devices, like how many devices it got connected, and how still is in an active state, how is in a deactive state, and how still are in a still continuously contacting, and what kind of ports and what kind of IP addresses we're using. Okay, PID stands for here is a process ID. We don't need to know about this one. This is generated by the system. It gives the process IDs. Okay, so the thing is you can see UDP. Okay, you can see UDP. Have you got any other details like this? It is showing stars and something. Okay, it is
But
showing
in the
stars.
UDP, yeah,
Yeah,
it's showing
yeah,
the starting numbers. The foreign address only it's showing the stars. Oh,
yeah.
for the left side
That is
first row, it's showing some
connectivity is
other
not
numbers.
established properly.
Huh?
If the connectivity is not established properly, it show like this. I told you now,
Okay.
UDP is a it's not rely on connectivity. It's just simply send the data. It's nothing but I'm just sending you a message to you whether you are in an active state to receive or not. Okay,
Okay.
and I'll send the details. That's why it is user datagram protocol. It stands for that only. But when it comes to the TCP, you can see TCP have a perfect like addresses and state, and the PID process IDs are perfectly looking because it is happening. The TCP is going to verify that first of all. Even though if you want to open the Google, okay, like a Google browser, first it is going to verify your local system is going to verify the Google is in active state or not. Okay, in a fraction of seconds. Okay, if the Google server is down, it cannot be create a connectivity. Okay, even if you want to send something, an email or everything, again it is going to find out that specific email server or the receiver is in an active state or not to receive the email. Okay, the TCP is a connection. Okay, connection oriented protocol is TCP. UDP is a connectionless protocol. Okay, it's a connectionless oriented. It doesn't need whether the receiver is in an active state to receive the data or not. It is blindly send the data. Let's assume the YouTube is using UDP. Okay, if you are in an active state, that means you have enough internet. Okay, then only it can be showcased, or then only you can able to watch the video clearly. But when it comes to maybe WhatsApp or maybe an email, even though if you don't have internet or something, still maybe you have a limited internet also, it can able to reach the actual destination properly. Okay, you can able to reach the destination properly, even though while we are playing the games also, the gaming companies use the UDP. Okay, until unless you have a strong internet connectivity, then only you can able to play the game, or else you'll end up with a ping issue. Okay, there is a lag, there is a glitch will happen. Okay, but TCP is reliable because it is going to verify I'm sending at a time, is the person is going to receive it or not, and first thing they are ready to receive it or not, and then they are received or not. So all the things it will be checked. That's why it is a connection oriented, and the UDP is a connectionless oriented. Okay, in the UDP, sometimes you can see some IP addresses, sometimes you cannot see. That means the connection is not properly established or will not be established. Until unless it is established only perfectly, then only it will showcase it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you have the access to that document which I've shared already, please go through it once. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to discuss about the malwares. Okay, what kind of malwares, malicious softwares, how it is impacted, and how we can create. But mostly I won't show you how we can create, but I'll explain you what are the malwares and how it is going to impact it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.